After finishing the game with 12 tackles, 2 for loss, and an interception, Devin got a chance to ride his horse Dream around Raymond James Stadium with the Lombardi Trophy in hand. Devin, it is so good to see you. I understand you're joining us from the barn, which is amazing. I got to ask, how cool was it to take your horse on a victory lap with the Lombardi Trophy in hand?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a really special moment for me, man. So I just want to thank everybody who had a hand in allowing me to do that because, you know, I got the best of both worlds with my horse and with my football passion. And plus, I had the best trophy in all of football that everybody takes in my hand.
Devin, it's Skip. I want to go back to the game for a moment. I consider you the best blitzer in all of pro football. And I occasionally, during the Super Bowl, got a little frustrated that obviously your game plan, as it pretty much was in the regular season game, was to back off, just rush the 4, and play some pass defense. Did you occasionally miss getting to go after Mahomes a little more than you were allowed to by the game plan?
Yeah, most definitely, man. I most definitely wanted to sack on Mahomes because he's so elusive. And I just be wanting to show people that, like, if I get after him, I could get him. And I had a couple rushes, but it was like kind of spy rushes, like when you're moving around, just get him off the spot. And I was able to do that a couple times. And, you know, but I was just pleased with whatever Ty Boys came up with. I was just wanting to execute it.
It worked.
Devin, Shannon Sharp here. Congratulations on the win. I love the way you play. I love the passion. I love the intensity. I love the suddenness. And I was a little disappointed that you didn't make the Pro Bowl, although you did get the bigger bowl, the Super Bowl. So going into the season, tell me what were your goals? What was your expectation now that you got Tom Brady on your team?
Hey, my goals was always to make sure we had the best defense. You know, our guys was going out there and landing on the line because, man, every school that I done played at LSU, we didn't have the best quarterbacks. You know, Joe Burrow turned it on a year later when I left. But it was always, if we do good on defense, we can give us the opportunity to win a lot of football games. So that was my big mindset. But I mean, that's just what it is, man. When we got Tom, it was like really, really, really exciting because I knew he could come in and he could control the game because he's a vet. He'd been there before, and I just knew we was going to do our part to get us to the Super Bowl, and we just needed a little push from him because at the end of the day, defense wins championships.
So, Devin, try to put into words what it meant to not only you but the whole team just to have Brady in your locker room in the offensive huddle, just to be around Tom Brady.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If you know you prayed on a wishing star, that's something right there you never think about in a million years. I never thought I'd play with Tom Brady, but I knew, and I knew when I got the opportunity that I was gonna make the best of it. Every day I told the defense we'll never play with a quarterback like him, so we need to take advantage of having him on our team right now. And he gonna lead us to the promised land. All we gotta do is just handle our business. He gonna do the rest. So that was my whole mindset, my whole preacher. Because you can bring any quarterback in, they can't really do what Tom Brady does.
No.
Devin, I'm watching the game plan, and seemed to what your plan was. Like, look, we're gonna get after your quarterback with our 4. We're gonna play what we call a box and 1. We're gonna take Levante David. You take Kelsey. You got him, man. We're gonna play 2 high shell, and we're gonna let you roam, Devin. Why did you think you were so successful playing that defense? And what would you think? Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a great thing. I think it was a combination defense because nobody ran free. Nobody had just single one-on-ones besides like Levante because we knew he could hold it down because that's what he do. And at the end of the day, when you're playing football, you can't be selfish. You got to respect your opponent. And we respected those guys, especially 10. We know what he did to us when we tried to play cover 1 single high safety. And we'll be a fool to get beat like that again. We'll be a complete fool. So, you know, they can say what they want, man. At the end of the day, you got to improvise. You got to do what's best for the team. We did what's best for the team, but I can say this. Everybody got a piece of their receivers. It wasn't just one person. It took everybody on the back end. And a thing is, we want to be physical early just to get the guys up front enough time. So it was kind of going hand in hand. We knocked the timing off. The guys up front get after them. So, man, that's what I say, man. That's why, look, during the season, I gave them boys the name grave diggers and say you put everything to rest, man. From here on out, you got to put them to rest.
Are you surprised that they didn't change the game plan because they were just scat protection? They didn't adjust. They didn't do max protect. They didn't do anything. They just kept trying to get 5 out, and your 4 was beating their 5.
Yeah, and that's another thing like that we knew going in. We knew that they was going to be a cocky team, which they have every right to be. They was the #1 offense in the entire National Football League. But the thing is, we knew they couldn't block us. We knew that our front four was going to dominate them. So they did us a favor. They played right into our hands. We wasn't going to be that cocky team like, hey, we're going to play them in cover one. We're going to shut them down. Our best guys matched up on their best guys. We was going to make it be a team collective win on defense, and that's what we did, man. So at the end of the day, they shouldn't even talk about not having their offensive tackles when they didn't even help them. They put them on islands by themselves with the best pass rushers in the game. So that's at their own fault.
Devin, how much did it stick in your craw that Tyreek backflipped on you in the game 10 weeks earlier on the same field?
Hey, me being a competitor, that hurt.
Yeah.
Man, he literally slapped us all in the face. That hurt. And at the end of the day, I knew we was going to meet them again. I knew they was going to make it to the Super Bowl. They're a great group. Yeah. But the thing was, I told them, we're going to get the last laugh. Just like when we played the Saints, we're going to get the last laugh when it counts. You know, it only matter in the postseason. Ty Boys kept saying, don't nobody remember what you did in the beginning of the season. Only January and February count the most, but you got to make it to January. So we knew what it was.
Right.
Your coach said the other day at the parade, Bruce Arians, that you physically kicked their ass. Would you agree with that assessment? Was it just sheer physicality, just how nasty your defense can play?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And a lot of people don't even realize, like, what we did as far as, like, holding them guys at 9 points, not letting them in the end zone. But they started gaining yards when we was already up 21 points. We had already gave our little brothers the controllers, man, said, y'all can go finish them off. And they just started giving up little BS yards, man. They started giving up little yards at the end. So I know everybody praising, Travis Kelce had 133. But a lot of that came at the end of the game when it was already over. We were sitting back in zone playing soft. Same as Tyreek Hill, man. It was 3rd and 20-something. Coach Bowles told us to sit back 15 yards at the stick, and he caught it and ran. That gave him a lot of yards and make him look like he had a decent day. But at the end of the day, we know what went on. It was a lot of toe tagging out there.
Did you know, because you play that coverage and you know one thing, that you're vulnerable. You play nickel defense, and not to get too complicated, you play 4-2-5. But you know, in order to that defense, if they run the football, it puts you in a bind. It seems like to me you knew they wouldn't run the football. They were going to throw the football with Mahomes and try to spread the ball around. So like you said, they did play into your hands by not even attempting to run the football.
Yeah, man. I ended up talking to my buddy Clyde. It was Clyde after the game. You know, he played for Kansas City.
Right.
And I said, bro, I don't understand. We were so light in the box. And I think us being the #1 rush defense and stoning everybody, I think that kind of took them away before the game even started. Like, the Vikings running back, Devin Cook, he was the only running back to rush for 100 on us this year. And they stayed with the run. So that's just to let you know how good, Devin Cook is in his offensive line. But we knew they didn't want to. We knew that RPO was going to be their run game. We knew that coming in. So that can kind of help us. And then Ty Boys told me and Levante, y'all going to play 2 gaps, and y'all going to show everybody why y'all the best in the world if they do run the ball.
So, Devin, you guys at the parade were very outspoken about how you are going to win it again next year. It came across to me anyway like you were all but guaranteeing you're going to win it next year. Can you go that far for us? Do you guarantee it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work that got to be re-put in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's why I wasn't one of those guys, because, I'm going to stay humble about it, because we got to get there. You don't want to set yourself up for failure with that. But at the end of the day, I feel like as the season progressed, we started hitting our stride. We started coming together as one. The offense started dominating. Like, man, we got so good that we didn't care if they won the coin toss, because if we won, we was going to take the ball anyway and start the game off like that. So that's just to let you know how good we was getting. And a lot of people don't realize how young we are in the secondary. Myself, everybody on the rookie contract in the back end, including myself. So you count me and those guys, the ones that really bring that energy and that swagger to the defense. Man, we was all coming back. But, Jason Light, he got a tough task to do. He got to see if he can keep those other boys, because I love playing with them. We all love playing with each other. We bonded like this. And if he can bring them back, if we get our whole defense back, then I'll start talking a little cocky then.
I'm sorry, go ahead. So, Devin, of the guys who could be free, Who do you fear losing the most? You got Shaq and Godwin, obviously, to start with.
Levante.
And Levante. Yeah. Who do you fear? Who do you think you might lose the most?
I say probably Shaq. Everybody want a great pass rusher.
Yeah.
He's one of the best in the game right now. I'm telling you, man, when that guy smell blood in the water, you can't stop him. And if I was some other GM and stuff, and I'm looking at him on the table, I'm throwing the house at him.
Yeah.
I'm throwing the house at him. Like, he need to go. I'm throwing the house at him. He need to be up there with the elite guys. He sat behind Von Miller. He didn't complain. And he got a Super Bowl with them. Then they drafted Bradley Chubb. They slapped him in the face. And you see what he came to us and did in 2 years. I think in 2 years, he probably leading the NFL in sacks.
Yeah.
And then the thing that he's underrated as, he played the run extremely well.
Yeah.
And we be dropping him in coverage.
Let's talk about that parade. Your quarterback, he had a few up in him. He throwing the trophy, and then, he had a little bit. He said he had too much avocado tequila. Were you surprised to see him acting like the uncle at the cookout?
Nah, I wasn't. What I thought Tom Brady was going to be, the type of person and player he was, when I got in the locker